Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'll be showing you how you can install Minikube and kubectl on your Ubuntu machine. So yesterday we installed Ubuntu on Oracle Virtual Box. So today we'll be looking how you can install Minikube and kubectl on the same Ubuntu machine that we installed yesterday. Two CPUs while we were installing Ubuntu. So Minikube is basically a local Kubernetes cluster which helps you in focusing on making it easy to learn and develop for Kubernetes. So you can practice the hands-on exercises on Minikube cluster, and we will be looking into a lot of hands-on DevOps exercises going further once we are done with the Minikube installation and installation of kubectl. So let's get started with the Minikube installation. Let's look into the prerequisites while we are installing Minikube. So you should have two CPUs or more. So that is the reason yesterday I selected two CPUs while I was installing Ubuntu on Oracle VM box. And then 2 GB of free memory space. Then there should be 20 GB of free disk space. Then you should also have internet connection, and then you should have also have a container or virtual machine manager. So let's say we will be using Docker engine over here as a virtual machine manager. So let's start. So for installation, you can select Linux as the operating system, and you can find out that which architecture is the one that you're using. So let's open the terminal, and so you can use this command uname minus minus all. So this command will show you the architecture that you're using. So x86-64. So that is the architecture that is selected over here. Let's say release type is stable and binary download. So we will be using this particular command that is mentioned over here. So let's copy this command, and it will help us in installing the Minikube on our Ubuntu machine. So let's paste these commands and hit enter. So it is asking for the sudo password to install Minikube. So it says cannot start Minikube Linux AMD 64, no such file or directory. So let's try installing it one by one. So let's do curl first. Okay, so curl is something that is not present. So we need to install curl, sudo apt install curl. So it will install curl utility. So once curl utility is installed, we can make use of the Minikube command that is mentioned over here. So since this is a fresh machine that we installed yesterday and everything, and nothing much is installed on this particular machine, so that is the reason there will be some initial hiccups. So now since curl is being installed, let's run this command that we copied from the Minikube website. So it is actually doing the curl command for this particular link that is being provided over here. Once this is being done, we will also be copying the other link, which is we are going to run this command sudo install minikube linux am64, and it will be installed in this particular directory. So let's copy this command. So as you can see that it has actually executed the above command. Now let's run the command that we just copied to install the Minikube on our Linux machine. So it will start installing, and it has installed the Minikube. Now let's look into what it says. It says start your cluster. So it says from terminal with administrator access, run this particular command. So let's see if the Minikube is installed. Let's check it by using the Minikube version command. It should fail. Oh, yeah, sorry about that. We have not yet installed Docker. So we are supposed to install Docker as well in order to start the Minikube. So let's start the Minikube, and it will say that Docker daemon is not running. So it says that it cannot find one of these drivers. So we are going to use Docker, and since we have not yet installed Docker, so let's see how we can install Docker on our machine. So you can use this command sudo apt install docker. Okay, so let's install docker by using this particular command sudo apt install docker.io and hit enter. So this will start installing docker on our machine, and it is asking for few questions. So let's say yes and press Y over here, and it will take some time to install docker on our machine. And once the docker is installed, we can start our Minikube as well. And before doing that, some we need to provide some permissions to our docker command so that we are able to access the docker and we could start the Minikube. So let's provide that command as well. So it is still installing the docker, and it has installed the docker. Let's say docker minus minus version. Okay, so it has successfully installed the docker. You can see that it is giving us that the docker version 24.0.5 has been installed on this Ubuntu machine. And now let's try running our Minikube once again. Minikube start command. So again, it is not starting the Minikube. The reason being it is unable to pick a default driver because we have not given the sufficient permissions to our Docker installation. So let's give the sufficient permissions. So let us paste this command, and the command is sudo usermod. So we are going to use this command in order to give the required permissions. So this command, it adds the current user to the Docker group, granting them permission to run Docker commands without the need of for sudo, and then initiates a new shell session with the Docker group permissions applied. So let's run this command and see. Okay, so it has applied the Docker permissions, and now let's see if we can start our Minikube successfully or not. And we will use the command Minikube start, and we can see that our Minikube is getting started. It will take some time as it is downloading Kubernetes preload, and once that has been downloaded, we can check that our Minikube has been started. And once the Minikube is started, we can also look at the status of our Minikube. So I think since we are installing it from the beginning, it will take some time to install it. So I'll pause the video over here, let it be installed, and then we'll come back. So now you can see that our Minikube is installed successfully. We ran the command Minikube start, and in order to check that our Minikube is running fine or not, we can use the command Minikube status, and it will show us the status of the Minikube at that very moment. So I have run this command, and you can see that it says that host is running, kubelet is running, API server is running, and kubeconfig is configured. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. So this was a small video on how you can install Minikube on your local desktop on your Ubuntu machine. I will also be creating the next video where we'll be installing kubectl, and it will be a short video. So stay tuned and consider subscribing to our channel. And if you have any questions, any doubts, please post it in the comment section. I'll try to reply to as many questions and as many queries as possible. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.